All right, let's talk about the disqualification, I guess, at St. Clair. I say I guess, I want to lead off by saying all this. I don't know much about it. I heard about it last night on social media. I heard who it was. I heard it was Ed Lauren on St. Clair. Or the video that I saw was that he was in the Indian reservation. I assume that's up there north of the river. Now, I'm stating all this because I don't know. I don't know any of this to be true. So whatever. I'm going to talk about some of this stuff because I want to fill some people in on some things. I rarely talk about stuff like this in regards to, I don't know what went on. I wasn't there. Every once in a while someone's like, why are you doing a video on it if you don't know? No one knows. You know, like no one was there except Ed and whatever all happened. So it's just a couple details. I'm not going to get into like all that. I'm going to get into my experiences and what I've seen. I was on St. Clair. I kind of know where this is at. Stay with me on this. When I say I kind of know, I'm going to stick up for, I'm not saying he was right or wrong. He probably was wrong. But I'm going to stick up for like, everyone's like, oh, he should have known, or any of these comments that stated like, when you've never done this, you have no clue. You just don't. So I'm going to go on my experience on St. Clair in this area. I think it's this area. And here's why. I made a video yesterday talking about St. Clair and Bassmaster and this stuff. And then I told my story about how I caught him up there in the FLW tour my first year. And surprisingly, it was right up there. It was right up there in this area. Now, what I'll say about this area, I still don't know where the area is technically. I mean, I kind of know where it is. I don't know the boundaries of it. I don't know the border of it. I don't really know. And here's why. Like I said, this is maybe it's changed since then. But when I was up there, I had heard that there was like, hey, you can't fish this like area. And it was these reeds and there was like these canals. And I was like, okay, well there's reeds up there you can fish, but you can't go in this one area. And then from there it like proceeds out into the lake a little bit. And I was like, well, how far? They're like, well, and I'm like, so you got to realize who I'm asking. I'm asking like other fishermen that kind of knew about it. Now, I'm pretty sure, I think, because I remember seeing it, I want to say FLW gave us maybe a map of it or something. And it was just like not like a little kid drew it, but it was just a line out there. You got to realize the map's this big on a piece of paper and you're looking at, in scale, it's about, I don't know, 500 million times bigger than that because it's St. Clair. So if you're trying to figure out where this line is on a map and then get out there on the water and you're looking around and you don't see like the land on the other side of the lake. That's how big it is. And I was like, well, how am I supposed to know? And it was making me nervous because I was fishing the flat that's right next to it that's connected to it. And they were like, oh, there's these, this is the part. This is the best part. Did you see those sticks out there? And I was like sticks. There are sticks about the size of my finger. They would stick up out of the water on this flat. They're like little bamboo sticks. They stuck like 2 or 3 foot out of the water. On St. Clair. St. Clair it's not a Great Lake, but it's connected to Great Lakes. It is a giant piece of water. And you're supposed to see this little bitty like bamboo tan looking stick. And they're like, yeah, that's from what I was told. And I still don't know to this day that I was told that was the border, a stick out in the middle of the water. Not like a whole bunch of them, like a random one here. And I'm like that's the border. Now, don't jump all over me in the comments. I'm just telling you my experience up there. And so I was like, and I was thinking to myself, I'm fishing for $100,000. And this is the information I'm getting on where to stay out of. Because of a stick. No signs. I never saw a sign posted anywhere. It said keep out. Reservation. I never saw anything like that. That might have all been changed. This was, I don't know, 2018, 19, I'm not sure, something like that. Like I said in the video, I made a top 10. I caught them all by that flap. I didn't know how close I could get to this so-called area. And no one really there's not this real perfect boundary. It's on a lake. It was wild. All I'm saying is this. Everyone's always so quick to cast judgment on somebody of going, oh, you should have known better. I didn't know. I tried to find out. It's not like someone's from somewhere, I don't know who I would ask to go out there and show me exactly and point it out to me. It was just I just stayed far enough away because I was whatever. And I don't remember, like I said, Fisherman, the people in the tournament, those are your biggest allies. It's not the tournament organization. I'm going to say this right now. I'm not saying they wouldn't help you. I'm saying everything I ever found out about off limits or every other lake we went to would be from other fishermen. They were just nice enough to tell you, hey man, make sure you don't go in there. I'm like, what do you mean? And it's oh, that's a this or that's a that. It happened all the time. There would never be off limits or you can't go in there, or there was always these weird regulations. And everyone's oh, you should have figured that out. How? It's funny because you don't know to go look for something. How do I put this? If there's an off limits area and you don't know about it, and why would you? How would you know to go look for that? How would you know to go look for information about something that you didn't know you're not supposed to be in? I'm not going to go on a random lake. If I went to Rayburn and go, all right, let me search around and see where I can't go. Well, you can go everywhere. Toledo Bend, you can go everywhere. All these lakes, 99% of them, you can go everywhere you want to. There's one on Amstead. There's a marina right next to the takeoff. 99% of every marinas I can go into, and apparently you can't go into this one. Or you can't fish in there. There's no sign saying you can't. You just got to know. You gotta figure that out. So it's a marina over here. It's an Indian reservation over here. It's some wildlife refuge over here. Some of them are only for certain months of the year. All these things. And sometimes the tournament organizations, and I want to say FLW Tour, they might have told us about it, but it wasn't like this. It's not black and white. It just wasn't. It's not like this roped off area and signs everywhere saying stay out. I promise you, if there's signs out there saying stay out, Ed probably wouldn't have been in there. Or wherever he was. I still don't know. There was no signs like that. Not when I was there. In sticks, you see a stick poking out of the water, you're supposed to know that's a border to stay out. Things happen out there, and like I said, the fishermen in the event are your biggest allies. They were the ones that helped me out. My rookie year, my second year, it doesn't matter. I don't care if I'd been on it for 10 years. Usually someone was a local on these lakes you'd go to, and they would, out of the kindness of their heart, because most of them weren't pricks, they would kind of spread the word. Hey, make sure you don't go in there. All of us did. When I found something out, I instantly told people, hey, make sure. If I saw people around that area, I'm hey, we would all talk. We would all help each other because no one wanted anyone to get in trouble. It was always like that for licenses. On St. Clair, there's a United States side and a Canada side, and then and I'm okay, where's the Canada side? Do I need to get a license? I don't ever plan on going up there. And so you were always looking out for each other, or we were. I don't know about the elites. I'm sure most of them are. But yeah, it sucks. It sucks as this happens. And they probably are not going to make a big deal about it. And the reservation or that place in there, it wasn't like the smallmouth thing. And this is my understanding of I'm assuming where it's at. If it's up there by where Lake Huron comes out, above that. That was my knowledge of where it was. As soon as it comes out, if I remember right, it's been a while, I didn't go in there. I just kind of looked, and they were there's some reeds up there, and there's some canals in the reeds. You can fish the outside of the canal or the reeds, But you can't ever go in there. And then, like I said, there's these sticks, whatever. I don't know. Still to this day, I still don't know. And I'm hoping, just don't be rude about it, but like someone should, I guarantee you in the comments, explain it way better than I could. Live up there. They probably know it like detailed. Like if I lived up there, I would know it detailed. But you have to know someone. Like I'm just telling you have to know someone. Because they didn't exactly explain it to a T. And I was definitely trying to figure it out. And I was like, most of them would say this. And I get this. There's nothing wrong with this. They're like, where are you fishing? And I would tell them, they're like, oh, you're going to be okay. I just trusted that. Like I was like, hey, like this is where I'm fishing. And I kind of draw a circle on the map. They're like, hey, you should be okay there. But it wasn't like, I'm just telling you, it wasn't black and white. So I just kind of wanted to come on there and kind of talk about that just for a second, about that, and about how when you go to these lakes, and everyone on YouTube is like the biggest rule follower in the world, and they know all the information always, you know, but 99% of them have never traveled around to all these different lakes, and everyone's gonna like, you should know the rules. You do realize, I talk about this with laws all the time. No one knows all the laws. I'm not even talking about fishing, like the laws. Like no, they change constantly, and they change state from state. You're like, oh, you should know it. Dude, you probably break the law on driving stuff constantly. If they gave you a 100-question test on a driving thing, you're not going to get all 100 of them right. And what if one of the questions, what if it was like, hey, we'll give you $100,000, right? If you pass this test. No studying, no nothing. Like and we're going to get a chance. Like you got to go, yeah, maybe if you went and read like the law book, but no one in the comments has read every single 99.9% of y'all have never read or whatever it is. I don't even know where to get it. Like every law for driving in your state. And then go, oh, by the way, know it for like 9 other states that year. And then if you accidentally do one little thing wrong, your windows are tinted at 21% instead of 18, and you lose $100,000. That doesn't make any, like, right? Y'all are with me on this. So I'm like, 9 times out of 10, we're not doing anything wrong in the tournament. But sometimes things happen. Like there's some weird rule or law. And most of the time we are told this, that like, hey, they enforce this or something like that. They're virtuous commenters in YouTube or social media and all this, like, oh, you should know. They've probably never done this. And stuff like this. Now the cheating, that's different. But stuff like this happens all the time, and it's just mistakes. It's just not knowing. There's gonna be people in the comments right now go, oh, you should know better. Whatever. See, every fisherman looks at that and is like, whatever, dude, that dude doesn't know. We try, but I'm just telling you, it's hard sometimes to look for a rule we didn't know a rule existed or a law existed. Like, I didn't know that some of these things existed, and I'm supposed to go seek that out somehow without any, like, I don't know. It's just wild. I'm just saying, like, cut some people some slack on some things. Like, it's not black and white. And if you've never been there, you probably don't know. To this day, I was there. I was there like 8 days in a row, and till this day, I still don't know. And I tried to figure it out. I'll put it to you this way. I just stayed far enough away, I guess. I'm hoping I did. They say I did. I mean, they had cameras on me and everything. But, yeah, I was so worried about it. I was like, okay, that is my take. And I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to Ed. I don't know where he was at or what, like, they're not going to probably release any information, or should they? They don't have to. But I will say that's my little take on, and it might not even have been that. I'm just saying when I was there, that's what I was worried about, for sure.